Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the rule number 138 of the CGST rules, which contain the rules regarding the e-way bill. So let us start with discussion. As per the rule number 138 of the CGST rule, every registered person who is judging the movement of the goods and the value of such consignment, if it is exceed rupees 50,000, then the e-way bill is required to be generated. So what is the conclusion? The person shall be the registered person. Further, such person is making the movement of the goods and the value of such consignment shall be exceeding rupees 50,000. So if the value is less than or equal to 50,000, then this rule is not applicable. Further, this rule is applicable for the purpose of movement of the goods. So it is not applicable to the services. Further, the word is here the every registered person. So it is applicable to the registered person. Further, what type of a movement is covered under this rule? The movement shall be for the purpose of supply, for the purpose other than supply, or the movement regarding such that inward supply from the unregistered person. So if any registered person is purchasing the goods from the unregistered person and the value of such goods, that is the consignment value, exceeding rupees 50,000, then here it is the inward supply from the unregistered person. So here the e-way bill rule is applicable to the registered person. Now, whenever the registered person is making the movement of a goods of the consignment value exceeding rupees 50,000, then he shall require to fill the detail in the part A of the form number GST EWB 01, that is the form for the e-way bill on the e-way bill portal. Now, as and when the part number A of form EWB01 is fulfilled, a unique number will be generated on the portal. Now, if the goods are sent by a principal to a job worker, goods are sent by the principal to the job worker for the purpose of job work in any other state or a union territory, then in such case e-way bill is required to be generated by the principal or a job worker if registered, irrespective of the value of consignment. So here the value not exceeding 50,000, this limit is not applicable in case the principal is sending the goods for the purpose of job work to the job worker in any other state. So if this situation is covered, then e-way bill is required to be generated even if the value of a consignment is up to rupees 50,000. Next one is in case of the handicraft goods, such person who are making the supply of a handicraft goods are exempted from taking the registration under clause 1 or a clause 2 of the section 24 of the CGST Act. However, for the purpose of making the movement of such handicraft goods, the e-way bill is required to be generated by such person even if the value of such consignment of goods is up to rupees 50,000. So the limit of not exceeding 50,000 is not applicable for the purpose of goods which the principal is sending for the purpose of job work to any other state, and the handicraft goods are transported to another state by the person who is exempted from the taking the GST registration. Now another point is what is the value, that is the consignment value, how such consignment value will be considered for the purpose of e-way bill. So the consignment value will be the value which is determined as per the section 15 of the CGST Act, that is the valuation section. Further, it will also include the taxes, that is the GST taxes, CGST, SGST, IGST or cess, whatever the applicable. So the consignment value will include the total bill value, that is the value determined as per section 15 plus the taxes, that is the taxes levied under the GST law. However, suppose there is a situation that the person has made the supply for the purpose of exempt supply as well as the taxable supply, and he had issued the common invoice for the both supply, that is exempt as well as the taxable supply. Then for the purpose of calculating the consignment value, the value of an exempted supply will be excluded from the value of a consignment value for the purpose of determination of the applicability of a e-way bill. So what is the conclusion? The consignment value will include the value as determined as per the section 15 of the CGST Act, plus it will include the GST taxes as per the GST law. However, it will exclude the exempt supply of goods where the common invoice is issued for both exempt as well as the taxable supply. If the goods are transported by registered person and as a consignor or a recipient in his own conveyance, that is the own motor vehicle or a hired vehicle, then the part B of the form GST EWB 01 is required to be filled by such person. So if the person is transporting the goods in his own vehicle or a hired vehicle, then he is required to fulfill the details in a part B of such form. Next one is when the goods are transported through the vessel, air or railways, then before or after the commencement of a movement, the part B of the form GST EWB 01 is required to be furnished by the registered person, whether it is a supplier or a recipient. However, where the goods are transported by the roads, then the part B of such form may be fulfilled by the transporter on the basis of the assignment of the transport detail made available by the recipient or a supplier as the case may be. Further, where the goods are transported by the railway shall not deliver the goods unless the e-way bill is produced at the time of a delivery. So, if the e-way bill is not produced at the time of a delivery, the railway will not deliver your goods. Now the question may arise that the e-way bill rule is applicable for the consignment value exceeding rupees 50,000. Can a person generate the e-way bill if the consignment value is up to rupees 50,000 or less than rupees 50,000? Yes, the registered person or a transporter may at each option generate the e-way bill even if the consignment value is less than rupees 50,000. Now there may be a situation that from my godown or by my register office or a place of business, I am sending the goods to the premises of the transporter for the purpose of further transportation. So, for the purpose of transporting the goods from my premises to the premises of the transporter, there is no requirement for the purpose of updating the detail in the part B of the form GST EWB 01, provided the distance is up to 50 km and it is within the same state or a union territory. So, what is the point? If you are transporting the goods for the distance up to 50 km within the same state for the purpose of further transportation, and you are transporting such goods to the place of business of the transporter, then in such case the part B detail may not be updated, then also it will run. Further, on the reverse hand side, when the goods are transported from the premises of the transporter to the premises of the consignee, then in such case, if the distance is up to 50 kilometer and it is within the same state, then the conveyance detail may not require to be updated in the e-way bill. The conveyance detail is required to be updated in a part B of the form EWB. However, in both such cases, that is the criteria of the 50 kilometers. Further, the second criteria is within the same state or a union territory, and it is the transportation purpose, that is from the premises to the premises of the transporter, and from the premises of a transporter to the premises of the consignee. Then in such case, the details in a part B may not be updated, then it will also run. Now the next one is there may be a situation that the transporter may not be transporting the goods of the one consignor in his conveyance. He is transporting the goods for the multiple consignor. Then in such case, he may generate the form number EWB02, that is the consolidated e-way bill on the basis of detail provided by the different consignor for the purpose of transportation of the goods. There may be a situation that the consignor has given the goods and the bill or a invoice or the delivery challan, and the value of such goods, that is the consignment value, is exceeding rupees 50,000, but they have not generated the e-way bill. Then in such case, the transporter shall generate the e-way bill on the basis of the information available on the invoice or a bill of supply or the delivery challan, and also generate the consolidated e-way bill in a form number EWB02. Now there may be a situation arise that you have reported the wrong details in form number EWB01, that is the e-way bill regarding the transportation or the value or a invoice number. Then can you cancel such e-way bill? Yes, you can cancel such e-way bill if such goods are not transported as per the detail mentioned in the e-way bill, or such goods are not transported at all. Then such e-way bill may be cancelled on the common portal within the 24 hours of the generation of the e-way bill. So the person who have generated the e-way bill can cancel the e-way bill within the 24 hours of the generation of the e-way bill. Now the situation may arise that the counterparty can cancel such e-way bill by rejecting the details on the e-way bill portal. Yes, the counterparty can reject such details on the e-way bill portal within the 72 hours of the generation of the e-way bill. If within the 72 hours he is not rejecting such details, then such e-way bill shall be deemed to be the valid e-way bill. However, it is subject to the 72 hours from the date of generation of a e-way bill and or the delivery of the goods, whichever is earlier. So the e-way bill can be cancelled by the counterparty within the 72 hours from the generation of e-way bill or the delivery of a goods, whichever is earlier. Now what is the validity of the e-way bill? The e-way bill is valid up to 100 km 1 day in case of the other than over dimension cargo, and for every 100 km or a part thereof, one additional day is provided. However, in case of the over dimension cargo, the instead of 100 km 20 km word is given in rule number 138. The e-way bill validity can be extended by the commissioner by notification on the recommendation of the GST Council.